Hello, future freshman families. It looks like winter's rolling in, and even the toughest demons shouldn't have to brave the cold for this one. To keep everyone safe, we're moving our future freshman meeting online. Please join us virtually to hear important details about enrollment and how to get started on your high school journey. Welcome to the virtual version of our future freshman meeting. Today, I'd like to provide some information that will be helpful next week when students and their parents come for the pre-enrollment meetings at the middle school. So let's just get right into it. Some faces, some people that you're going to want to get to know here at the high school. I'm Mrs. Elroy, the principal. We have Mr. Strutton, an assistant principal, Mrs. Smith, an assistant principal. You'll also see there our counselors, Mrs. Terry, Mrs. McGahey, and Miss Odell. Miss Kennard is our concurrent coordinator. So as you advance in high school, should you want to take concurrent classes as a junior or a senior, you will also get to know her very well. If you will notice that freshmen are divided between each counselor based on the first letter of your last name. So that's how you know who your counselor will be next year. You won't necessarily meet with your counselor next week at our meetings. We have a group of about 15 leaders in our district that are helping us with enrollment. So you won't necessarily be with your counselor, but that will be the person that you will go to for any questions regarding your schedule, credits, that sort of thing. Just so you understand graduation requirements, you are required between 9th and 12th grade to earn 25 credits. That is the minimum that you must have to graduate from Duncan High School. You earn a credit by passing a class with an A through a D, an A, a B, a C, or a D. Anything below a D would be failing, and you do not earn credit for that class. Each semester, you earn half a credit for each class that you pass. Here's how you will make up your 25 credits. You will have 4 credits of language arts, 4 credits of math, 3 credits of science, 3 credits of history. Then what used to be called electives are now called pathway units under the new graduation requirements. So you will have to have 10.5 credits of pathway units. Half a credit of your pathway units is going to be a required personal financial literacy class, which will be a semester class that you will take either as a junior or a senior. So that's how you make up your 25 credits. In addition to the 25 credits, these are some other requirements that you have to do. You have to take your state test as a junior. All juniors take the ACT, a science test, and a history test that are state required. We do that in the spring, in April. You also have to take the naturalization test, which I believe you will take this spring as an 8th grader. So you'll already have that out of the way. Should anybody not get to do that this year, we will make for sure that you have an opportunity to make that up once you get to the high school. You also have to take a CPR course that's provided by our nurse here at the high school. So you have to do that at some point in your high school career. You and your parent have to come and apply for FAFSA, which is financial assistance, should you qualify, that you could use for college. Again, the personal financial literacy class, which we are requiring, so we will make for sure that you take care of that. You also have to make for sure that you do all of your tasks involved with ICAP, which we have built into our advisory and rethink time, so there won't be any problem with you completing those things either. Attendance is very important here at the high school. It's a little bit different than maybe it has been in elementary and middle school. At the high school, attendance is tied to your credits. So you have 8 free absences per semester. We certainly don't encourage that you miss that many days, but you do have 8 kind of free days that you can use. Once you go over the 8, regardless if you're passing a class or not, you run the risk of losing credit for that class simply because of your attendance. We do have a system of appeals built in. We have appeals meetings every year in December and in May at the end of each semester. Should there be some special circumstance with a health issue, a family issue, something like that, you and your family can come in and talk to us about the reason that maybe you went over the limit. So should you need to do that, that is available. Please keep in mind that it's very, very important that you're passing all of your classes because any class that you fail does have to be made up in credit recovery, but your other classes for the next year still continue. So if you fail things, you kind of start to dig a hole that can potentially be hard to get out of. It's very, very important that you are passing all of your classes. All right, moving right into the new pathways requirement. You guys, as the incoming class of 2030, you are the first class that these new requirements have been implemented for. So basically what you're going to have to do is choose a pathway. And then based on the pathway you choose, we're going to help you choose courses at Duncan High School that fit that pathway. We basically chose 9 out of a possible 16 or 17 pathways. We've chosen 9 that we feel like we can really do well here at Duncan High School. And that's what these next few pages are going to show you, are the different pathways that you can choose from. So just so you understand these sheets, at the top, you're going to see the name of the pathway. The grid kind of in the middle is going to show you year by year the courses that you need to take that'll fit that pathway. The ones that show are just your core courses. Okay, those are the things that you have to take. Down at the bottom where you see the pathway units, again, that used to be called electives. So that's where you'll have a little bit of freedom to choose things that you'd like to take as long as they fit that pathway. If you are in band, choir, athletics, those sorts of activities count towards all the pathways. So you don't have to worry about that part. Down at the bottom of each sheet, we've listed most of our DHS courses that fit within each pathway. If there's a Red River program that goes with that pathway, we've also included it there. And then we've also included top jobs in Oklahoma that are related to that pathway. So this first one is business management and administration. We also have a manufacturing pathway, a STEM pathway, transportation, distribution, and logistics pathway, an energy pathway, agriculture, food, and natural resources, arts, AV, technology, and communications, health science, and education and training. So all of those sheets should be pretty self-explanatory and kind of give you an idea of the courses we offer for each one. Next week, when we meet with you and your parent, is what we'll look at. So at the top, as you can see, we're going to have you choose a pathway. So you're going to need to choose one of these 9 that we are offering. If you don't know, you're not sure, none of those maybe necessarily appeal to you, we will have your ICAP information, which is based on the interest inventory that you took, and it will kind of tell you the path based on how you answered those questions, what would be a good career. And so if you're unsure, we can look at that and we can choose the one that is closest to that. You don't have to choose what your ICAP says if you're interested in something totally different, as long as it's one of the 9 that we offer. So we'll ask you to choose your pathway, and then we will start to help you choose your courses using this sheet. As you can see, over to the left side are the core courses. You have some choices on some, and then others, it's just one course that all freshmen will take. All the courses on this sheet, both front and back, are open to freshmen to take. So there's no confusion on you picking something that you wouldn't be able to take as a freshman. Anything on here is open for you. So we'll help you choose the core courses, and then we get into the pathway units. And so you can kind of see there what is offered. If you are an athlete and you play multiple sports, we would ask that you choose all the sports that you play. That way we know from season to season what you're transitioning into. For example, if you're a softball player, that's a fall sport, and then maybe you play basketball in the winter, and then in the spring, maybe you roll into track. And so we would ask you to mark all of those things so that we know exactly what you're going to be going into within each season. We also kind of have an expectation that if you are an athlete that you also take a weightlifting class. So that's what we will encourage you to select as one of your other pathway units. However, if you have a concern about that, you feel like that's going to prevent you from doing something else, those are individual conversations that we can have with you and your parents so that we can make sure that we make the best decision and the best choices for what your academic goals are. Thank you for watching. Parents, if we have a meeting scheduled with you on Monday or Tuesday and for some reason we aren't in session, please don't worry, we will reach out to you to reschedule those meetings. We look forward to meeting with you and your child to discuss their future academic goals. Stay safe, stay warm, and go Demons!